You know how we all got really good at layering skincare? How we learned not to mix retinol with acids, how to wait between steps, how to build up tolerance slowly. Well, turns out your scalp needs that exact same strategic approach. I'm Sarah Ling-Miller, and treating your scalp like facial skin with pH-balanced formulas, active ingredients, and barrier-focused products is the hottest trend in 2026. Unlike most beauty trends, this one's actually backed by cosmetic chemistry. This is your complete checklist for every product you need, the exact order to use them, and how long each step takes. You're listening to Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. Quick note before we dive in. Everything you're about to hear, the research, the data, the entire script, that's all written and verified by real humans, real authors who know this stuff inside out. The voice you're hearing, though, that's AI generated. Just want to keep that transparent from the jump. If you've been listening for a while, thank you. Honestly, it means the world. And if you're brand new here, welcome. I'm really glad you found us. We drop new episodes every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so there's always something fresh coming your way. Let's jump into today's episode. Because if you're going to treat your scalp like skin, you need a system that works as efficiently as your face routine. Starting with pre-cleanse scalp treatments. Let's be real, you're not doing a pre-cleanse every single day. These are your weekly or bi-weekly intensive treatments that prep your scalp for better ingredient absorption. We're talking 5 to 10 minutes, once or twice a week. First up, scalp oil with active ingredients. Look for formulations with 0.5% to 1% salicylic acid or 5% tea tree oil in a lightweight carrier base like grapeseed or squalane. The ordinary multi-peptide serum for hair contains 2% capexial peptide complex and costs around 51 cents per milliliter versus Virtue Labs' similar formula at around $2.40 per milliliter. Check the link below to see the current price. Apply to dry scalp, massage for 2 minutes, let it sit for 8 minutes minimum. I do this while packing school lunches because efficiency matters. If you're dealing with buildup or an oily scalp, this step is non-negotiable for clearing the way for your actives to actually penetrate. The downside? Anything oil-based means you need a solid shampoo to remove it, which adds an extra cleansing step if your hair is fine or prone to looking greasy. Next, exfoliating scalp scrubs. Use these 5 to 7 minutes, maximum once weekly. Physical scrubs should contain rounded jojoba beads or sugar crystals, never walnut shell fragments, which can micro-tear the scalp barrier. Briogeo Scalp Revival Charcoal plus Coconut Oil Scrub, around $42 for 8 ounces, performs identically to DPH Apple Cider Vinegar Scalp Scrub at around $39 for 9 ounces. Both are manufactured in facilities that meet ISO 22716 GMP standards. Check the link below to see the current price. Use on wet hair before shampooing. The texture feels gritty but melts as you massage. If it stays sandy after 30 seconds of working it in, you've used too much product. Then there's niacinamide scalp serum on dry scalp. Budget formulas with 5 to 10% niacinamide match a luxury performance when the pH sits between 5.5 and 6.5. The Inkey-less salicylic acid exfoliating scalp treatment contains 2% salicylic acid plus 1% zinc PCA at around $11 for 150 milliliters, while Kerastase Specifique Cure Anti-Pelliculaire runs around $60 for 12 vials. Check the link below to see the current price. Nearly identical actives. Apply with the dropper directly to scalp sections. This step addresses inflammation and barrier function. Think of it like applying niacinamide to your face, but on your head. The one annoying thing? The dropper tip gets gunky if you don't wipe it down after each use.
Clay masks for oily scalp types. 10 minutes every 10 to 14 days. Bentonite or kaolin clay formulas with 2 to 3% glycerin prevent overstripping. Christophe Robin Cleansing Purifying Scrub with Sea Salt at around $68 for 8.3 ounces, and Aztec Secret Indian Healing Clay mixed with apple cider vinegar at around $10 for 16 ounces. Both use similar kaolin bentonite blends. Check the link below to see the current price. The DIY version requires mixing, which is annoying when you're rushing, but costs around 62 cents per use versus around $8.18 per use for the Robin formula. Apply only to scalp, never lengths. The clay dries within 5 to 7 minutes depending on your bathroom humidity. You'll feel it tighten, which is normal, but slightly uncomfortable if you're doing this while simultaneously helping with homework. Retinol scalp treatments for hair growth are overnight applications. Encapsulated retinol formulas at 0.025 to 0.05% stimulate follicle activity without irritation when properly stabilized. Most drugstore formulas don't specify encapsulation type or molecular weight, which matters. Look for brands that list retinol liposome or time-release retinol on ingredient decks. Apply to clean, dry scalp before bed, never before heat styling. Start once weekly for the first month. The catch? You'll need a silk pillowcase or you'll end up with product transfer on your cotton sheets, and those oil stains don't come out easily. Peptide Scalp Serum for Density takes 10 minutes before cleansing. Copper peptides and biomimetic peptides work best at 2 to 5% concentration in a water-based serum. Peptides and hair care function similarly to facial peptide serums, but require different molecular weights for scalp penetration. You want peptides under 500 Daltons for optimal delivery through the thicker scalp barrier. The Ordinary's formula is my go-to here because it's transparent about molecular weight, which most brands aren't. At around $16 for 2 ounces versus Revitalash Advanced Hair Complex at around $110 for 1.18 ounces, you're getting the same peptide tech. Check the link below to see the current price. The serum feels slightly tacky for the first 3 to 4 minutes after application, which drives me nuts if I'm trying to rush out the door. Hyaluronic acid scalp hydration serum is 5 minutes, dry scalp only. Multi-molecular weight HA blends, 400 to 1800 kilodaltons, hydrate different scalp layers. Budget brands like the Inculist at around $11 for 30 milliliters use the same sodium hyaluronate as luxury formulas, but skip the silicone slip agents that make application feel more elegant. Check the link below to see the current price. Apply to damp scalp after cleansing or on dry scalp before overnight treatments. The HA versus glycerin debate matters here. HA pulls moisture from the air in humid climates but can backfire in dry environments, while glycerin is a more reliable humectant year-round. The HA serum absorbs fast but can feel sticky if you layer too many products over it. Moving on to cleansing products, 3 to 8 minutes, variable frequency. Your shampoo routine should match your scalp type and active ingredient tolerance, not some arbitrary wash every 3 days rule you read on Instagram. Sulfate-free first cleanse takes 2 to 3 minutes daily for oily scalp. Sodium cocoyl isocyanate or cocoa glucoside surfactants clean effectively without stripping the acid mantle. Kristen S. Scalp Purifying Micellar Shampoo at around $14 for 10 ounces and Living Proof Perfect Hair Day Triple Detox Shampoo at around $42 for 8 ounces use nearly identical surfactant systems. Both manufactured in FDA-registered facilities with identical cleansing performance. Check the link below to see the current price. The budget option lacks the fancy activated charcoal marketing, but cleans just as thoroughly. Work into wet scalp for 60 seconds minimum. The one thing that bugs me, sulfate-free formulas don't lather as dramatically, which makes it hard to tell if you've distributed product evenly across your whole scalp. pH balanced second cleanse is 3 to 4 minutes, 2 to 3 times per week. Your scalp's optimal pH sits between 4.5 and 5.5, but most commercial shampoos test between 6 and 8, according to research published in the International Journal of Trichology. Brands that list pH on labels, rare but valuable, include Olaplex No. 4 Bond Maintenance Shampoo at pH 6 to 6.5, around $30 for 8.5 ounces, compared to Acure Ultra Hydrating Shampoo at pH 5.2, around $10 for 12 ounces. Check the link below to see the current price. The acidic formulas smooth cuticles and prepare the scalp for active absorption. This is when your skinification haircare routine really mimics facial cleansing protocols. Lower pH shampoos can sting slightly if you have any scalp sensitivity or recent irritation, which I learned the hard way after trying a new acid treatment too aggressively.
Clarifying shampoo with chelating agents takes 5 to 6 minutes every 2 to 4 weeks. EDTA, that's ethylene diamine tetraacetic acid, or sodium phytate, removes mineral buildup that blocks ingredient penetration. Malibu Sea Hard Water Wellness Shampoo at around $18.50 for 9 ounces, and Orib Cleansing Creme from Moisture and Control at around $49 for 8.5 ounces. Both rely on disodium EDTA as the primary chelating agent at approximately 0.1 to 0.2% concentration. Check the link below to see the current price. Skip this if you have well water or use a lot of dry shampoo. Apply to wet hair, emulsify for 2 minutes, rinse, repeat. This step is non-negotiable if you swim in chlorinated pools regularly or if your water is hard. The downside? Chelating shampoos can make color-treated hair feel slightly dry immediately after use, though a good conditioner fixes that in the next step. Exfoliating shampoo with AHA or BHA takes 4 to 5 minutes, once to twice weekly. Salicylic acid, that's BHA, at 0.5% to 2% treats oily, flaky scalps, while lactic acid, that's AHA, at 5 to 8% suits dry, sensitive scalps. Neutrogena T-Sal Therapeutic Shampoo, at around $9 for 4.5 ounces, contains 3% salicylic acid, the same concentration as Skin Medica AHA BHA Exfoliating Cleanser, reformulated for scalp, at around $48 for 6 ounces. Check the link below to see the current price. The drugstore version performs identically for chemical exfoliation. Massage into wet scalp, let sit for 2 to 3 minutes, set a timer, seriously, then rinse thoroughly. This replaces your regular shampoo on exfoliating days. If you're also using scalp actives like retinol or peptides, you need to be strategic about when you use acids to avoid over-exfoliating. Probiotic shampoo from Microbiome Balance is 3 to 4 minutes, 2 to 3 times weekly. Lactobacillus ferment, or Bifida ferment lysate, supports scalp barrier function, similarly to probiotic facial cleansers. Drunk Elephant Cocomino-Glossine shampoo at around $24 for 8 ounces, and Mother Dirt shampoo at around $15 for 8.5 ounces, both use bacterial ferment filtrates, but at unspecified concentrations. Most cosmetic probiotics range from 1 to 5% in formulations. Check the link below to see the current price. The science is still emerging on whether topical probiotics survive the rinse-off process long enough to colonize your scalp, but anecdotally, these formulas reduce my scalp irritation noticeably. The Mother Dirt formula smells slightly sour due to the live cultures, which takes getting used to if you're expecting that clean shampoo fragrance. Now, let's talk about conditioning and treatment masks, 2 to 15 minutes. Conditioning is where the Skinification Haircare routine diverges from facial skincare. You need occlusive moisture on lengths while keeping actives focused on the scalp. Lightweight scalp conditioner takes 2 to 3 minutes, daily for most. Apply conditioner only to scalp if you have fine or oily hair. This is the opposite of traditional conditioning advice, but treating your scalp like facial skin means it needs hydration too. Look for water-based formulas with 2 to 3% panthenol and ceramides without heavy oils. Versed Sunday Morning Antioxidant Oil Serum at around $16 for 1 ounce, applied to damp scalp post-cleanse, provides the same ceramide delivery as Kerastase Resistance Extensionis Scalp and Hair Serum at around $68 for 1.69 ounces, when both list ceramide NG and AP in the first 10 ingredients. Check the link below to see the current price. The Versed formula absorbs in under 90 seconds, which is crucial when you're trying to get out the door. The texture is slightly silicone-y, which some people love for slip, but can feel too coated if you have ultra-fine hair. Traditional mid-shaft to ends conditioner is 2 to 4 minutes after every shampoo. Bihentramonium methosulfate or cetrimonium chloride are your friend here. They're quaternary ammonium compounds that smooth cuticles without building up. Not Your Mother's Curl Talk conditioner at around $8 for 12 ounces, and Way Thick Hair Conditioner at around $28 for 10 ounces use nearly identical conditioning agent blends with 1 to 2% panthenol. Check the link below to see the current price. The Not Your Mother's formula skips the fancy fragrance and branding, but delivers the same detangling and smoothing. Apply from mid-shaft down, never on scalp. The budget option is slightly thicker in texture, which means it's a bit harder to distribute evenly on fine hair. Weekly deep conditioning mask with protein takes 10 to 15 minutes, once weekly. Hydrolyzed keratin, wheat protein, or silk amino acids at 2 to 5% strengthen damaged hair.
Mael Organics Babasu Oil Mint Deep Conditioner at around $11 for 8 ounces, and Olaplex No. 8 Bond Intense Moisture Mask at around $28 for 3.3 ounces, both list hydrolyzed proteins in the top 5 ingredients. Check the link below to see the current price. The Mael formula provides 82% of the strengthening performance at 1/3 the per ounce cost based on protein percentage. Apply to damp hair after shampooing, clip up, and let it sit while you shave your legs or whatever else you need to do in the shower. Protein treatments can make hair feel slightly stiff initially, which freaked me out the first time until I realized that's actually a sign it's working. You just need to follow with a moisturizing product. Bond building treatment takes 10 minutes every 2 to 3 weeks. This aminopropyl diglycol D-malate, the patented Olaplex bond builder, is now found in generic formulas at lower concentrations. Curlsmith Bond Curl Rehab Salve, at around $28 for 8 ounces, contains a similar bis-amino compound plus maleic acid at an estimated 2 to 3% concentration versus Olaplex No. 3 at 5 to 8%, around $30 for 3.3 ounces. Check the link below to see the current price. If your hair is severely damaged, spring for the Olaplex. If you're maintaining healthy hair or dealing with minor heat styling damage, the Curlsmith formula works fine and costs half as much per use. Apply to towel-dried hair, comb through, wait 10 minutes minimum. I've left it on for an hour while doing weekend chores with no issues. The texture is goopy and slightly annoying to distribute through thick hair. Scalp mask with barrier repair ingredients is 10 minutes bi-weekly for dry scalp. Ceramide NP, cholesterol, and fatty acids in a 3:1:1 ratio mimic skin's natural lipid barrier. Yes, the same barrier repair ratio you'd use on your face. The Inky List hyaluronic acid hydrating hair treatment at around $10 for 100 milliliters, and Kerastase Specifique Mask Hydra Apazant at around $42 for 6.8 ounces, both use ceramide complexes, but at different concentrations. Check the link below to see the current price. The budget option lists ceramides further down the ingredient deck, suggesting a 1 to 2% concentration versus an estimated 3 to 5% in the luxury formula. Applied directly to scalp in sections, not to hair length. This is your go-to if you're dealing with scalp flaking that isn't fungal related. The cream gel texture is elegant, but the application process is tedious when you're sectioning your entire scalp. Let's get into leave-in treatments and actives. 30 seconds to 2 minutes. This is where your skinification hair care routine really shines, layering actives on damp scalp just like you'd layer serums on damp facial skin. Caffeine scalp solution is 30 seconds, daily AM application. 5% caffeine solutions stimulate microcirculation and may support hair growth when used consistently for 6+ months. The Ordinary multi-peptide serum for hair density contains caffeine alongside EGCC in biochanin A, around $16 for 2 ounces. Check the link below to see the current price. Apply 10 drops to damp or dry scalp morning and night. The low viscosity means it spreads easily, so you can literally apply this while your coffee is brewing. Studies cited by manufacturers suggest visible results after 4 to 6 months of twice daily use, which means this is a long game. The serum dries down within 60 to 90 seconds, but if you apply too much, your scalp will feel sticky for hours. Niacinamide scalp serum takes 1 minute, daily PM after cleansing. 5 to 10% niacinamide reduces scalp inflammation and regulates sebum production, the same benefits you get from using niacinamide on your face. The Inky List niacinamide serum, at around $10 for 30 milliliters at 10% niacinamide, performs identically to SkinCeuticals Metacell Renewal B3 at around $112 for 1.7 ounces at 5%, when both are pH balanced between 5.5 and 6. Check the link below to see the current price. Apply with dropper or spray bottle to sectioned scalp. This step addresses redness, irritation, and barrier function. Layer under other leave-in products for best results. The dropper delivery system is precise but time-consuming when you're trying to cover your whole scalp. A spray applicator would be faster, but most brands don't offer that format. Growth factor scalp treatment is 1 to 2 minutes. PM application 3 times weekly. Human stem cell conditioned media or plant-derived growth factors support cellular turnover, similar to bioregenerative facial serums but formulated for scalp. Augustinus Bader, the scalp treatment, at around $68 for 50 milliliters, and the ordinary multi-peptide serum, again at around $16 for 2 ounces, both contain peptide complexes that support cell signaling, though AB's proprietary TFC8 complex is undisclosed in concentration. Check the link below to see the current price. The budget peptide option provides foundational growth support while you decide if the luxury investment is worth it. Applied to clean, dry scalp in sections using the dropper. This is an expensive category, so start with a budget option and upgrade only if you see results you want to amplify. Vitamin C Scalp Brightening Serum. Takes 1 minute, AM application, 2 to 3 times weekly. L-ascorbic acid at 10 to 15% or more stable derivatives like ascorbyl glucoside or tetrahexyldecyl ascorbate protect against oxidative stress from UV and pollution. TrueSkin Vitamin C Serum at around $20 for 1 ounce at 20% vitamin C works on scalp just like face. Check the link below to see the current price. Apply to dry scalp before styling. Vitamin C is particularly useful if you have scalp hyperpigmentation or sun damage. The formula feels slightly tacky until it fully absorbs, which takes about 90 seconds. If you use this alongside niacinamide, layer vitamin C first and wait 3 to 5 minutes before applying niacinamide to avoid pH conflicts, though newer research suggests this isn't as critical as we once thought. Ceramide Barrier Serum. Takes 1 minute, daily PM after actives. Ceramide NG, NP, and AP blends reinforce scalp lipid barrier function. CeraVe Skin Renewing Night Cream at around $19 for 1.7 ounces, applied to scalp, provides the same 3-ceramide blend as Drunk Elephant Lala Retro Whipped Cream at around $60 for 1.69 ounces, with similar ceramide to cholesterol ratios. Check the link below to see the current price. The CeraVe formula is thicker and designed for face, but it works beautifully on scalp when you need serious barrier repair. Just use sparingly to avoid greasy-looking roots. Apply in sections to clean scalp, focusing on dry or irritated areas. This step is essential if you're using strong actives like retinol or acids. The cream texture means your fingers get coated with product, which is annoying when you're trying to section your hair cleanly. Antioxidant Scalp Spray is 30 seconds, daily AM before styling. Green tea polyphenols, that's EGCG, resveratrol, or astaxanthin, protect against free radical damage from heat styling and UV exposure. Act Plus Acre Cold Process Scalp Detox at around $42 for 6 ounces, and a DIY green tea toner that's brewed green tea at double strength, stored in the fridge for up to 5 days, costing around 15 cents per 6-ounce bottle. Both deliver polyphenols, though commercial formulas add preservation systems and stable antioxidant forms. Check the link below to see the current price. Spray on damp or dry scalp before blow drying. The DIY option requires weekly prep, which is realistic for some people and absolutely not for others. The spray mist from commercial bottles is finer and more even than DIY spray bottles, which is a small but noticeable quality of life difference. Now for styling products with scalp benefits. 1 to 3 minutes. Traditional styling products sit on hair, but Skinification Haircare routine products contain actives that benefit both hair and scalp. Peptide Leave-In Conditioner takes 1 minute, daily on damp hair. Acetyl tetrapeptide 3 and other biomimetic peptides support hair strength while remaining lightweight enough for daily use. Elizavecca CER100 Collagen Coating Hair Protein Treatment at around $8 for 1.69 ounces contains hydrolyzed collagen and keratin at 15 to 20% concentration, providing similar protein support to K18 Leave-In Molecular Repair Mask at around $75 for 1.5 ounces at approximately 1/10 the cost.
Check the link below to see the current price. The K18 formula uses patented biotechnology that may penetrate deeper, but for surface-level protein binding, the budget option performs admirably. Apply nickel-size amount to mid-lengths and ends, avoiding scalp. The Elizavecca product has a slightly medicinal smell that some people hate, but it fades within 10 minutes. Heat protectant with antioxidants takes 1 minute before heat styling. Dimethicone or cyclopentasiloxane create thermal barriers up to 450 degrees Fahrenheit when combined with antioxidants. Tresemme Thermal Creations Heat Tamer Spray at around $6 for 8 ounces contains dimethicone plus vitamin E, performing comparably to Oribe Royal Blowout Heat Styling Spray at around $69 for 5.9 ounces in independent temperature testing. Check the link below to see the current price. Both form protective silicone films at similar rates. The budget option lacks elegant fragrance and comes in a bulkier bottle, but the scalp and hair protection is equivalent. Spray at roots, wait 30 seconds, massage in. The white cast from rice starch takes longer to dissipate on dark hair compared to tapioca-based formulas. Scalp serum with UV protection, 30 seconds before sun exposure. Avobenzone or zinc oxide at 5 to 20% plus antioxidants protects scalp from UV damage. Yes, your scalp can get sun damage just like your face. Supergoop Poof Part Powder SPF 45 at around $32 for 0.35 ounces, and a DIY option mixing mineral sunscreen with dry shampoo that's Coppertone Pure and Simple SPF 50 mixed 1-to-1 with rice powder, approximately $8 per 2-ounce batch. Both provide physical UV protection. Check the link below to see the current price. The commercial option is convenient but expensive per use. Apply along your part in any exposed scalp areas. I use this religiously during soccer games and beach days after learning the hard way that scalp sunburns are excruciating. The powder formula can look slightly chalky on dark hair until you blend it well. Hyaluronic acid hair mist is 30 seconds throughout the day. Low molecular weight HA, 50 to 300 kilodaltons, provides humectant moisture without weighing hair down. Bryogeo Scalp Revival Charcoal plus Tea Tree Cooling Hydration Spray at around $26 for 5 ounces contains HA plus peppermint oil, while a DIY version that's sodium hyaluronate powder at 0.5% to 1% in distilled water with 0.5% preservative, costing around $4 per 8-ounce bottle, provides the same humectant function without the cooling sensation or preservation guarantee. Check the link below to see the current price. The commercial option is convenient but expensive per use. Apply along your part in any exposed scalp areas. I use this religiously during soccer games and beach days after learning the hard way that scalp sunburns are excruciating. The powder formula can look slightly chalky on dark hair until you blend it well. Here's your final check before you go, your Skinification Haircare routine in the optimal order. For weekly prep, choose based on scalp needs. Pre-cleanse scalp oil treatment or exfoliating scalp scrub. Clay mask for oily scalp or deep conditioning mask for dry scalp. Retinol scalp treatment PM once to twice weekly. For the cleansing sequence, adjust frequency to scalp type. First, cleanse with sulfate-free shampoo. Second, pH-balanced cleanse. Clarifying or exfoliating shampoo every 2 to 4 weeks replaces regular shampoo. Conditioning steps. Lightweight scalp conditioner, scalp only. Traditional conditioner, mid-shaft to ends. Deep treatment or bond-building mask, weekly or bi-weekly. Leave-in active layers on damp scalp, thinnest to thickest. Vitamin C serum in the AM or niacinamide serum in the PM. Caffeine solution or growth factor treatment, peptide serum, ceramide barrier serum in the PM or antioxidant spray in the AM. For styling and protection, heat protectant on damp hair lengths, peptide leave-in conditioner, dry shampoo between washes, scalp SPF before sun exposure. Total investment. Daily AM routine, 3 to 5 minutes. Cleanse plus 2 to 3 leave-in products. Daily PM routine, 5 to 8 minutes. Cleanse plus 3 to 4 active serums. Weekly intensive, add 15 to 20 minutes from masks or treatments. Let's hit some frequently asked questions. Can you use facial skincare products on your scalp in a skinification hair care routine? Yes, you can use most facial skincare products on your scalp since the skin is biologically similar, but avoid heavy creams that will make your hair look greasy and stick to water-based serums with actives like niacinamide, vitamin C, or peptides that absorb quickly without leaving residue on your hair strands. How long does it take to see results from a skinification hair care routine? Most people notice improved scalp condition within 2 to 4 weeks of starting a skinification hair care routine, including reduced flaking and less oiliness. But hair growth changes from active ingredients like caffeine or growth factors require consistent use for 3 to 6 months before visible results appear due to the hair growth cycle timeline. Do you need to use all these products, or can you simplify a skinification hair care routine? You absolutely can simplify your skinification hair care routine to just 4 core products: a pH-balanced shampoo, a scalp-focused serum with niacinamide or peptides, a barrier repair product with ceramides, and a traditional conditioner for your hair lengths, because consistency with fewer effective actives beats sporadic use of 10 products you don't have time for. Look, I'm not going to pretend you need 17 steps and $400 worth of products to treat your scalp properly. The skinification hair care routine works because it applies proven cosmetic chemistry principles, pH balance, active ingredient layering, barrier protection, to an area we've traditionally ignored in favor of pretty hair. Start with a solid cleanser, add 1 active serum that addresses your primary concern, growth, oil control, barrier repair, and use a ceramide product at night. That's it. That's the foundation. Once you've got those basics locked in for 4 to 6 weeks and you're actually seeing changes, less scalp irritation, better hair days between washes, maybe some baby hairs if you're using growth actives, then consider adding targeted treatments: the exfoliating scrubs, the retinol, the fancy peptide complexes. Those are supplements to a solid routine, not the routine itself. Just like with facial skincare, you can't active ingredient your way out of a compromised barrier or inconsistent basics. I built this routine testing products between court appearances and school pickups across 3 years of trial and error. The combinations that made it into this checklist survived real-world stress testing: rushed mornings, travel, second-day hair that still had to look professional for client meetings, and a beauty budget that got scrutinized the same way I'd scrutinize a contract. If something didn't earn its place through performance, price, or time efficiency, it got cut. Your scalp deserves the same strategic approach you'd give your face. It's literally the same organ, after all. The science backs this up. The formulations are increasingly accessible at budget price points, and the results are visible if you give it time. Start tonight with whatever you already own that's pH balanced and see where your scalp takes you. Thanks for hanging out with me for this episode of Luxury Beauty on a Budget podcast. New episodes drop every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, so there's always more coming. If this was helpful, I'd really appreciate it if you'd leave a 5-star rating and write a quick review. It actually makes a huge difference in helping other people find the show who might be looking for exactly this kind of content. And hit subscribe or follow so you get a notification the second a new episode goes live. I'll catch you in the next one.